everyone, this is Malgazer returning with another installment to the Final Fantasy XIV story playthrough. Last we played, we finished the first patch from the post-Shadowbringers content, where we helped the Try guy, Try News, that's his name, become the mayor of Yulmore. And on top of that, I was trying to remember exactly what we did. Oh, if we found out more information about what's going on in the Imperial Palace. So let's go ahead and continue the story here. We'll talk to Kryl. We will get going. Malgazer, my, what a pleasant surprise. If you've come to inquire after the Archons, fear not. Master Matoi's treatment has proven effective in stabilizing their corporeal ether. We mustn't grow complacent, however. Potent though these magics may be, they are not without limits. We can only hope they afford us enough time for the Crystal Exarch to complete his work. If only we can go with you to the first and help. Pardon the interruption, but I come bearing urgent news. Of course, it's always urgent. Malgazer, it has been far too long, my friend. Hello, Maxima. Forgive me, I don't believe we've been formally introduced. Maxima, former Garlean ambassador. I remain here in Eorzea under the auspices of Commander Aldin, offering what counsel I can in the hopes of resolving the present conflicts of the Empire. Oh yes, I've heard stories of a defector from Garlemald, but never mind that. You say you have urgent news? Indeed, as you may have heard, the Imperial capital is in turmoil, and a sizable portion of the Garlean forces have been recalled from the Gimlet Dark. With their numbers so greatly diminished, the main host of the Alliance has withdrawn, leaving the Alamegan resistance to keep watch over the border. And it is there we have welcomed a most unexpected visitor who claims that the escalation may belie growing dangers and unforeseen threats. Commander Aldin has arranged for an impromptu meeting to discuss these revelations. He has also requested a representative of the Scions attend as well, though it is clear to whom he wished to extend this invitation. And I happen to be back. It would seem time is of the essence. Indeed. Well, you'll not be attending this meeting alone. Though I'm not as well versed in the affairs of city-states as our comrades, I see no reason to burden the single Scion with all this. Yes, of course, though we must make for the Alamegan quarter with all haste. Well, what are we waiting for? You going, you two? Or what are you waiting for? Pardon me. Alright. Let's go move on here. I like the new map. Large. What is the most expensive teleport? Out of curiosity. Oh wow, they made it go past 1,000. Oh. Now I know if it goes past 1,000, that's a good time to go ahead and use that teleport. That aetheryte ticket. Make it free. Hang on. I'm hitting the wrong button. Click this, click. Or to not use a ticket. Oh, and off stream I spent a few minutes doing a little bit more research and finding out that there is indeed a poetic spender in Yulmore. So I did purchase a couple of pieces with the poetics that I had. So I got Ring Offending, Joker Offending, I got the chest, and I got the legs. So it bumped me up pretty significantly. Now I should have no issues getting into any dungeons. I think 430 was like the main issue, but we shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. There you go. Guacamole spam. Commander Aldin awaits us in the Royal Palace, if you follow me. I guess. Let us see if this is voice acted. That would be wunderbar. I think this is the first time I'm actually seeing him.
They're here, Commander.
Perfect.
And I, for one, am grateful that they are. Told you've been busy since our paths last crossed at the Gimlet Dark. Not that I understand half of it. When the science spoke of other worlds, I'd struggle to describe what I pictured. Mayhap things would seem clearer were I to hear the tale from your own lips. But I'm afraid the situation will not afford us that luxury. I trust you two require no introduction.
We meet again, hero of Eorzea. Must we repeat this ridiculous display? I pose no threat to you, though what I come to warn you of very well might.
Had he meant to do us harm, I hazard he would have kept to the shadows, and brought more than 2 companions. We need not pretend to be the best of friends, but I hope we can put aside our differences for the present.
As you are doubtless aware, Sir Estinian and I cooperated to rid the world of Black Rose in your absence. Our journey together took us as far as the Imperial Palace, where we witnessed Emperor Varus meet his death at Xenos' hand. Being the sole witnesses to this crime, and in no position to defend our innocence, we were then forced to flee, each pursuing his own avenue of escape. When we were later reunited, Estinian claimed to have encountered an unfamiliar kind of machina during his flight, but to me his description seemed anything but, and upon further investigation I found that I was right. The Empire is developing a new Ultima weapon.
What, that Allagan monstrosity, created to vanquish primals, with which you yourself once thought to conquer Eorzea?
The same. In my foolishness, I sought to harness its power, and became the Ascian's pawn in so doing. But you know as well as I how that tale ended. The weapon itself, excavated from beneath this very city, was destroyed ere we could fully unravel its secrets, and that should have been the end of it. But unlikely as it sounds, the Empire's efforts to recreate it have somehow borne fruit, primarily through secret research conducted by the 7th Imperial Legion, it would seem.
Wait, the 7th was all but annihilated at Cartano, along with its legatus.
Indeed, few survived. The 7th, as it is now, has little in common with the Legion led by Vandanis, and its leadership has changed hands several times since. Precisely how this project has continued despite such turmoil, and under whose auspices, remains a mystery. What we do know, however, is that a number of prototypes have been produced, and that one of them is on its way to Eorzea. We attempted to stop it, but it was all we could do to slow its progress, so we resolved instead to bring you warning.
And right glad are we that you did, though it soundly dashed our hopes that tensions might ease at last.
As it is, we've begun to strengthen our presence in the Gimlet Dark, and are assembling a force to meet the coming threat. A force with you in its vanguard, I hope. Before you say anything, I know full well you have pressing concerns of your own. Your comrades remain in peril, and I would not ask you to forsake them. But the fact remains that you, and you alone, have faced the Ultima weapon and emerged victorious. We need you. And so, when the time comes, if your comrades can spare you, I bid you lend us your strength. I've assigned an officer to await your word.
The Ascian's downfall was to be the work of my remaining days. But it was my hand that kindled these flames, and I cannot allow them to spread any further. I will do what I must to see this mistake consigned to history once and for all. Even if it means begging your aid. The fates will enjoy the irony, even as I endure the ignominy.
I too shall make for the border and offer my skills, meager though they seem in such company. Mayhap we shall meet there anon.
Though we can ill afford to ignore the coming of a new Ultima weapon, our friends' plight grows ever more precarious, and none save you can join them in the first. I only hope you are not forced to make a choice.
It'd be kind of cool if I could make a choice. That way there would be different outcomes, but this game is pretty linear, which is fine. It's no Witcher. So, alright. As ever, the way forward is paved with difficult decisions. We can ill afford to ignore the threat of a new Ultima weapon, but with each passing day, the plight of the Scions grows ever more perilous. If you cannot stay for a debriefing on the Ultima weapon, I will not stop you. I only ask that you confer with me before returning to the first. I take it you're ready to return to the first? Then I would ask that you apprise the others of recent events here and the source, namely Xenos' return and the development of a new Ultima weapon. As for their bodies, you may assure them Master Matoya and I will continue doing what we can to keep their corporeal ethers stable. Safe travels, Malkazera. I hope to see you and the other Scions soon. What is this blue quest? Not gonna worry about that. I am gonna look it up though. I'm curious. Is that what I think it is? Ruby Doomsday. There's only one thing I remember from Final Fantasy that has anything to do with the ruby, and that's the ruby weapon from Final Fantasy VII. Yep, that's exactly what it is. I think it's optional, so I won't worry about that. We're leaving optional stuff for once I'm finished the story. So let's go ahead and teleport. I think it's funnier that teleporting to the Crystarium. This is all my teleports here. Wolf's Den is 1,000. Idleshire is 1,000. All the ones at Othard are about 1,000. But Crystarium is actually cheaper. So teleporting across the world is more expensive than teleporting to a different world. Very interesting. When I do get around to doing Blue Quest, I may start at the oldest expansion and work my way up. I think there's still a few things from the original game that I haven't finished. Like all these that I'm leaving alone, which includes Bahamut. Yes, let me in. Hello, Crystal Exarch. Why are you... Oh. Right, he's shorter than me. Looked like he was kneeling for a second. You've come at a most opportune time, my friend. I've made something of a breakthrough in my research on the soul and a means to return the Scions home. I trust you too in making good use of your time. Ill tidings from the source, you say? And I'll summon the others that we might all be apprised of the situation. Or voice acting, or reading. We will find out shortly.
Now that we are all here, what news from the source? A new Ultima weapon. We must count ourselves lucky that Gaius has pledged his assistance.
While this is indeed a worrying development, I think the state of the Empire as a whole greater grounds for concern. With the Emperor slain and Xenos returned, it is impossible to predict how matters will unfold in Garlemald. The Ultima weapon may be but the first of many unpleasant surprises.
The situation beareth closer observation, of that there is no doubt, and doth compound our need to return unto the source.
Then let us address that issue. Our long search for a means to see you safely home may well be nearing its conclusion. Thanks in large part to Urianger and Becklug's invaluable insight, we have succeeded in fashioning a vessel for the journey.
We set out to create a crystalline container retaining the more useful properties of white aurosite, but without its regrettable limitations. And after a good deal of trial and error, we made one. An ark for soul and mind both, that will allow your incorporeal self in its entirety to be ferried between worlds. A spirit vessel, if you will.
However?
Though the vessel is possessed of the requisite qualities to hold mind and memory, it wanteth yet for a means to receive of them. For that, we must needs imbue it with the Exarch's innate gift.
A gift that lives on only through the blood of the Allegan Emperors, which certainly does not flow within aurosite or any other crystal.
Just so, milady. The blood serveth as a conduit of sorts. In its absence, memory cannot pass from mind unto mind, nor from flesh unto crystal.
That being the case, we must either alter the process of inheritance so as to require no such thing, or determine a means by which my blood may permeate the vessel. I am hopeful that the records found within this tower will yield the knowledge we require to pursue one or the other of these avenues.
As well you should be. The Allegan's body of etherological research is extraordinary. I can scarce believe it the work of ages past. But its underlying principles are not so very different from those of my own field of study. Given time, we will find the answers we seek.
I know that you can ill afford to wait, and it pains me that I must ask you to do so. I can only reaffirm my promise to you that a solution will be found. Whatever it takes, I will see you safely home.
My apologies.
I do hope you haven't come to tell us that mortal peril fast approaches.
No. I had hoped to speak with the Warrior of Darkness. But there is no need to cut short your meeting on my account. I will be waiting outside.
Why not speak in here? She knows I don't mind. Unless she didn't want to.
Perhaps I might accompany you. Though I am woefully ill-qualified to assist in the Exarch's research, I may yet be of some use to Lena.
Let's find out what she needs. 1 second. There we go. I must confess, while I enjoy my fair share of scholarly research, it will be good to step outside for a spot of fresh air. Now then, should we go and speak with Lena? I could have just met you outside. Apparently my stream wasn't up, and I apologize for that. Anybody who missed the last 20 or so minutes can watch it on YouTube when I upload it. We have little time, so I'll be brief. A Sin Eater has been sighted in Lakeland, and I ask for your assistance in slaying it. A Sin Eater? I'd heard some few yet remained after the night had returned, but perhaps we should call the others. That will not be necessary. It is only a single Sin Eater. A simple task for your guard, I should think, for our guard. That said, I believe fighting alongside the Warrior of Darkness would be a valuable experience for them. These can lead to complacency, and they gain nothing from an easy victory. But you do not underestimate your foes, however harmless they may seem. My men would do well to learn from your example. Let's be about it then. Excellent. Let us make for Fort Job. Be there in 2 seconds. Bum 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 bum. Come on. If you'd wait here a moment, I'll gather the others. There goes one of them. Later. Wonder where he was off to. What's the blue mean? You may not remember, but you have met these soldiers once before, though only in passing. Long have they awaited the opportunity to fight at your side. I was at death's door that day after the seniors attacked. If you and yours hadn't come along, I'd have likely stepped through, and I wouldn't have been alone. Your courage and selflessness is something we all aspire to. Whatever, convalescent guard. Steadfast guard. I too was there that terrible day. My friend was transformed into a Sin Eater before my very eyes, and I had no choice but to cut her down. The thought of returning to the field or holding a blade again, it filled me with dread. But that is no way to honor her or my comrades, and so I returned. I swear I will not let you or anyone else down from this day forward. Easy to say. Ardent Scout. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Truly. It seems like only yesterday I watched as you took flight astride of tomorrow to go and save the Oracle. Trained to think the Ulmoran soldiers we once locked blades with are now on our side. We'll do our utmost to keep the peace here in Lakeland. We seem to be missing one. Honest soldier. My apologies, Captain Lena. An elderly gentleman asked that I escort him to Clearmelt. It took longer than I anticipated. I'll not begrudge your desire to help those in need, but a soldier must be punctual, especially when we play host to honored guests. It won't happen again. The name's Thaler. I'm sure you don't remember, but we once met before in the infirmary. I asked you to deliver a message to the Exarch and the Warrior of Darkness. Little did I know I was already talking to him. Don't give up, don't give in. I keep those words close to my heart. And the boundless beautiful skies above serve as a reminder of their importance. My friend got to see the knight's return shortly before he passed. He left this world with a smile, satisfied with a glimpse of what was to come. There are countless others who weren't so fortunate. They gave their lives for the promise of a future they'll never know, and so it falls to us to do everything we can to fulfill that promise. No matter what happens, we won't give up. We won't give in. Never surrender. Galaxy Quest stuff right there. Your heroism has inspired all of our guardsmen in much the same manner. Our scouts at the northern staging point have not had the pleasure of meeting you in person. Let us not keep them waiting. Can we just go fight this thing? Or do I need to go talk to people? Over by Holminster Switch. Okay. Is that it? Is that the Sin Eater? Interesting.
Did you slay this eater? Your orders were to await the main force before engaging.
No, Captain. It wasn't us, I swear it. A man came out of nowhere and cut it down before we knew what was happening.
By himself? Certainly it is no light warden, but nevertheless.
It's true. Felled it with a single swing of his axe, he did. Never seen anything like it. So I says to him, who are you, the warrior of bleeding darkness? And he says, no, I'm a warrior of light. And that was it. Buggered off as quick as he came.
A warrior of light? Why would someone go around calling himself that, though? It was those bastards who caused the flood. I mean, if you were going to pretend to be anyone, it'd be him, the warrior of darkness.
Eh? Oh, I didn't know. It's an honor.
Since the Eater is no longer a threat, our work here is done. Return to your posts.
I had hoped to fight at your side today, but I'll continue to follow your example, and may we meet again.
I apologize for the wasted journey. It seems I overestimated the threat. As for this warrior of light, I do not know who would be brazen enough to take that mantle for his own. Whatever it may once have meant, it is forever tainted by the association with the Flood.
It's gotta be Ardbert.
The Exarch told me the truth of Ardbert and his comrades' deeds, and I am aware they played some part in your own triumph. But to most, they are synonymous with the calamity that befell this world. Still, if this man is minded to destroy Sinid, I may forgive him this unfortunate choice of alias. But that is neither here nor there. I thank you for accompanying me.
With that concluded, shall we return to the Crystarium? There is a proposal I should like to make.
Forgive me. There is one more thing.
Of course. Always one more thing.
Personal concern of mine. I had hoped you might have a moment to speak privately.
Take your time. I shall go on ahead.
I will not mince words. This matter concerns the Exarch.
What about him?
Though his countenance belies his age, his demeanor never has. He has seen more than any man should and grown ever more weary with time. But I see I give the wrong impression. While it is true he attempted to open a letter with a salmon fillet the other evening, we are not here because I suspect his mind is deteriorating. Nor do I believe him to be so maddeningly unconcerned by the prospect of his own death as he once was. Indeed, the opposite is true. It is for this reason that I seek your advice. Since he returned from the Tempest, the Exarch is not as he was. He seems a different man. A younger man. I know not the details of his research, but when I saw him at work recently, there was a glint in his eye that I had never seen before. He looked happy. It was as if he had peered into the future and for the first time found joy there.
Well, isn't that heartwarming?
Though it gladdens me to see him thus, I wonder if I should not keep my distance. I fear that my presence will only anchor him to the past, remind him of all the pain that came before.
Anchors keep us where we have chosen to be, or he's lost without you, you know. And he misses you already. I'll do that one.
Are you sure? Then perhaps we might remain as we were. As we have always been. What a relief. In that case, I will have to speak with him about the amount of time he is spending at work. This research is important, I know, but if he refuses to consider his own health, I will have to consider it for him.
Looks like you guys are married or something. He loves him. Now Kith. That was it? Just a... Okay. Sometimes I like quick quests. We'll see. Maybe this patch won't take too long. Excuse me. I will not keep you. You and your comrades have much to discuss. I'll see the others back to their posts. Bum, 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 bum. Where is he? Oh, he's back in the Crystarium. More exposition. Let's go fight something. Give me something to fight. Maybe not necessarily a dungeon or anything, but just something. Save myself 2 seconds. Shrug McShrug. What a ridiculous name. I love it. The others were quite shocked to hear what we found in Lakeland. But now that you're here, there's a proposal I should like to make. Apparently I'm dropping frames. I don't get it. I've been spending a great deal of time in the Cabinet of Curiosity, and of late I have noted more and more people perusing books on history, the years leading up to the Flood in particular. I suspect they wish to know more about the Warriors of Light, as well they should, but nearly everything I've come across describes them as Sin Eaters or worse. Regardless of whether or not this Warrior of Light is who they claim to be, I worry that their sudden appearance in conjunction with this renewed interest in their predecessors may lead to growing unrest and fear. If the people of the Crystarium seek the truth, I say we give it to them. I too can attest to the falsehoods found within full many of the Cabinet's tomes, with nary mention the noble deeds of Ardbert and his comrades. To be fair, they bear some responsibility for the Flood, but when the tale is told again and again over the course of a century, I'm not surprised to see their roles distorted and them painted as villains. Were it not for the records stored within the Crystal Tower, I would have had no reason to question the narrative. Unfortunately, that knowledge was of no use, for when I arrived here in the first, the reputation had already been irreparably tarnished. Excuse me. That said, there still remained those who worked tirelessly to defend their good name in those early days following the Flood. Considering all the good they had done, I found it a wonder they needed defending at all. They brought to justice the man who misused my knowledge to bring about the fall of Ardbert. As such heroes could be spoken of in the same breath as Sin Eaters is absurd. Under normal circumstances, I would agree, but as time passed, those who knew firsthand of their deeds dwindled. In the end, only one truth remained, that they were the cause of the Flood. With the world on the brink of oblivion, it was all too easy for the Warriors of Light to become villains deserving only of resentment and hate. At that point, the truth mattered little. It would not change their lot. Thanks to all of you, however, their lot has changed, and now they may heed the long-forgotten truth. You claimed it was Ardbert who helped you overcome Emet-Selch, correct? Such revelation would do well to sway the hearts of those who knew him only as a villain. I've shared this with a select few, but one and all must be told of his sacrifice. To that end, I say we proceed with Alphino's plan. We call together the people of the Crystarium and recount to them the true tale of the Warriors of Light and the Flood that followed in their wake. Cleaning up messes, that's what we're here for. All those nods. Well, what say you, Malgazar? Is there a let's do this? Spread the word, I say. Oh, I didn't smack my hands together. And we're all of one mind on the matter. Good. Exert, might I ask you to continue working with Becklug and other means of returning home? The rest of us will see to gathering the people of the Crystarium in the Etc. We have to reach out to anyone and everyone who might be willing to lend an ear. With any luck, word will spread and more will accompany them. I mean, but to use me as an example, you have to like explain the whole difference with all the different worlds and stuff. So we'll see how this goes. I'm curious. Oh, they're everywhere. I guess we'll start south and work our way up. Come on. Come on. There we go, dang. Maybe that's why I'm dropping frames and lagging. Yeah, even the sprint took a second to catch up. Leonard. Well, to what do I owe the pleasure? Whatever it is, I must ask you to be brief. With the night return, visitors have been flocking to the Custarium, and I find myself too busy by half. I don't mind it though. Seeing the stairs so full of life and excitement, one can almost forget the flood ever happened. Speaking of, the Warriors of Light? Yes, the Exarch has mentioned them before, but everyone knows them now as the cardinal virtues. Are you suggesting there's more to it than that? Well, you've yet to steer us wrong, so I'm willing to hear what you have to say. Come to browse wares in the market, have you? Well, I can guarantee you'll have no trouble finding what you need, whatever it may be. Under Yulmore's new leadership, trade has never been more prosperous. Word is that fellow from Daedalus Stoneworks has taken over as mayor. Did he really? Little wonder business is booming the way it is. I imagine it won't be long before all of Norvrent reaps the benefits. But I'm not come to talk about the market. Something on your mind? I see. The Exarch did mention they had something to do with your returning the night in Norvrent. Alright, consider my interest piqued. I have something to do suddenly. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry about that. But we can go ahead now and continue with what we were doing, which is running around the Crystarium, talking to people. Where is the nearest person? Okay, let's sprint over here. Right past the beautiful Aetheryte, which I still enjoy the look of. Some of the Aetherites are just beautiful. Dr. Chesimil. Alexander, my, what a wonderful surprise. Though I hope your being here doesn't mean someone's been hurt. Thanks to you, I've had far fewer patients coming through my door of late, which is a shame, come to think of it. I've had few opportunities to test my new medicines. I jest, of course. It's actually been quite pleasant to have a few moments to myself now and then. The truth about the Warriors of Light, but the Exarch has already spoken with me about them. Well, if there's more to the tale, I'd very much like to hear it. Morrow Launch and the Cabinet of Curiosity. That was weird. It teleported me and then it showed me up at my location before the screen went black. Good lag. Actually, I don't think that's the Amaro launch. I think that might be the Crystalline Mean. Yep, never mind. Can I get in this way? Rithric, cool name. Ethric. Catrick. Well, what a coincidence. I was just reading over a letter received from Parental not long ago. He says a visitor from the Custarium found him at the bottom of the ocean, and that he inspired him to reach new artistic heights. Well, I can only think of one person capable of both feats, though I say the latter is far more impressive. Think fate could bring the two of you together in such a place. I'm sorry, you mean the Exarch didn't tell us the whole story of the Warriors of Light? Well, whatever he's left unsaid, I'm all ears. Hopefully this lag doesn't continue for very long, because it's just dropping frames left and right. How annoying. No, this can't be. Surely there's at least one book here that does not cast the Warriors of Light and their deeds in such a negative light. Excuse me. Oh, Malgazer, forgive me. The Cabin of Curiosity has been bustling with visitors of late, but I fear our repository lacks for the knowledge you seek. The people wish to know the truth of the flood, of the Warriors of Light. I've searched high and low, but alas, every account portrays them as no better than sin-eaters, abominations worthy only of scorn and resentment. I know they were not always judged so harshly, yet I can find no proof, and I dare call myself a librarian. You'd address the people and tell them the truth of the Warriors of Light, of the Flood? How wonderful! You have regaled me with the tale once more before, but I should love to hear it again. Oh, and you may be assured I will not come alone. That's everybody. Where's Alpha now? I'm just gonna teleport over. Excuse me. Alfino. There you are. Between the four of us, I dare say we've swept the Crystarium from top to bottom. Now we need but wait for people to gather. Wonder what he's going to have to say. And who's going to say it? Or is everybody going to participate? And if there's going to be voice acting. Hopefully there is. It seems like a pretty pivotal moment.
Yes, this looks to be nearly everyone. Let us begin, shall we? Though I am usually the first to hold forth at such events, I think on this occasion that honor should fall to you.
They would be more inclined to take the word of the Warrior of Darkness.
Indeed. In light of the subject matter, who better than thee to speak these truths?
You got me. That just means it's going to be a quick cut. I'm going to start explaining, and then 2 seconds later, everyone will know. Yep. Used to be best buds. They fought against us to save their world. And they sacrificed themselves to stop the flood. And help me destroy Emmett Selk.
Wicked White. The Warriors of Light did all that?
So they never... I mean, they only ever wanted to help. And when everything they'd done turned to ash, they still carried on.
They gave everything to stop the flood. First their lives, then their souls. And they managed it too, in the end. They saved us. And we cursed their names.
Where are the non-believers?
This should go a long way towards clearing the air.
Oh, hello.
Impossible.
You see him too? Excuse me.
ghost, do you?
Nay, yonder standeth no bloodless apparition, but a warrior of light and darkness both. Ardbert.
Was it actually him, or was it like an Ascian that took his body?
What in the world?
Could be Elidibus. Ooh. You imagine?
It's you! The one who slew the Eater!
That it should be the warrior of darkness who brought the truth to light. You've saved me a fair bit of time, though I have a few words of my own to say, if I may. People of the Crystarium, I am Ardbert, one of those you know as a warrior of light.
That's impossible. You should be dead.
Aye, that I should. But as the world has been given new life, so too have I. I know not why I, and I alone, have been gifted this chance. But I do know this. Only by the will of the star itself could such a miracle come to pass.
Mm-hmm.
The hero who stands before you now, the warrior of darkness, is not of this world. And the day will come when he must return to his home.
Didn't Elidibus say he was going to use the words of light against me? This might be it right here.
But this land is our home. And if it is to remain so, now and forevermore, it is we who must protect it. The time to rely on saviors from afar has passed. It is you who must rise. You who must become the new warriors of light.
All of you.
What? Us? Warriors of light?
You can't just become a warrior of light. That's not how it works. You have to be gifted.
None of us were born heroes, my friend. I was only ever a man with a thirst for adventure. But wherever my journeys took me, I was invariably confronted with the same choice. To lend what aid I could to those in need, or not. And I always chose the former. Any one of you could do the same. All you need is the will to help your fellow man, and the resolve to see it through.
What else does he say?
From thine own lips did we learn of Ardbert's fate, and by thy countenance I gather thou art not inclined to recant thy testimony. Yet whosoever this man may be, his words hold truth and resonate with the citizenry besides. For us to voice our doubts here and now would serve but to sow disquiet. 'Twere better we retired unto the ocular and there discuss this matter in private.
Go. I will stay here and watch.
So, that is a warrior of light of the first. I have the pleasure of making his acquaintance, but as you all seem to be in agreement, I gather this is no simple case of mistaken identity.
As far as I was able to discern, that was indeed Ardbert. It has been a long time, but not that long. Could he truly have been resurrected as he claims?
No, absolutely not.
Ardbert did entrust his very soul unto thee. I see no reason to question thy judgment.
Nor I. To my eyes, your ether burns as brightly as the day you slew Emmett Selk. That is proof that he is with you still.
Yet that which standeth now before the people is far more than a passing imitation. I am reminded of the cardinal virtues, though a sin-eater he is not. Which leaveth but one plausible explanation.
That he is an Ascian.
Given their fondness for posthumous possession, I would have to agree. From what I understand, the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulmore by those whom they had aided in life. At the time, some few still remembered them as heroes. Needless to say, 4 of them were subsequently exhumed to serve the virtues. And if one knew where to look, Ardbert too would not have been difficult to find.
Assuming then that this is indeed the work of an Ascian, my mind inevitably turns to the last remaining paragon to survive the Sundering.
Elidibus.
Mm-hmm.
That Xenos hath reclaimed his own flesh is known. Thus evicted from his borrowed form and cognizant no doubt of Emmett Selk's failure here in the first, 'tis quite possible the emissary chose Ardbert for his next vessel.
Inhabiting the flesh of the fallen? Why, that is unsavory. And they do this often, you say?
Verily, for they possess no corporeal force of their own. In what one may term their natural state, none save those gifted with the echo can perceive them. Indeed, when Elidibus intruded upon the waking sands, his presence did go unmarked by all save Minfilia and the Warrior of Light. On that occasion, I myself remained ignorant of his coming until after his departure.
Then how'd you see Emmett Selk?
It was only at a later juncture, when he deigned to
Yep.
for me in borrowed flesh, that I was finally able to take the measure of him.
They can't see the spirits, but they can see when they're possessing someone.
Do the Ascians engage when they seek to influence the course of history?
And they have gained much by it. Emmett Selk single-handedly built the Garlean Empire in this manner, while La Hebrea came close to conquering Eorzea, having taken possession of Thancred's living body.
Yet it must needs be noted that the Ascians cannot avail themselves of all mortal vessels. For were they able to do so, none would serve as a better pawn than our own redoubtable champion. Mayhap the blessing of light shieldeth Hydaelyn's chosen from Ascian influence. Or mayhap other forces are at work. We cannot say for certain.
Whatever the reason, I hope it holds true. I dare not contemplate what might come to pass otherwise.
Is it not peculiar, then, that Ardbert's mortal remains should be susceptible, given that he was once a warrior of light? Or did the final departure of his soul make it possible, perhaps? Regardless, to hear an Ascian use him to call forth new warriors of light boggles the mind.
Elidibus hath ever been an enigma, his ostensible purpose being to preserve the balance between light and dark. When he made overtures towards me, however, I was afforded a glimpse behind the mask of the self-appointed emissary. I shall not defend mine actions, undertaken in pursuit of a better understanding of our foe as either wise or prudent. Nevertheless, What little I did glean may now prove useful. Elidibus possesseth a subtle mind, practiced in the art of manipulation. That he coaxed this star's most valiant heroes as far as the source with naught save half-truths is no trifling feat. And now, I believe, he doth employ his skills once more to some as yet unknown end. Though naught is certain, should my suspicions prove true, we shall have need of all our wits if we are to uncover and thereafter thwart his plot.
Agreed. 'Tis plain that simply speaking out against him will not avail us. At best, it would only serve to confuse the people. And I would hesitate to do anything which might tarnish Ardbert's reputation once more, nor yours by association. That being the case, it may be wise to keep a covert eye on this Ardbert's movements, as we attempt to discern his purpose and how best to mitigate his influence.
His performance appears to have concluded. What now? Go back out and follow him?
Twould appear Master Alphino already hath pursuit in mind, and I suspect one pair of eyes shall better serve our cause than half a dozen. Let the rest of us maintain an inconspicuous distance, for the present at least.
And leave Alphino to it? Okay. It doesn't sound like a good idea, but... maybe we don't have much choice. You did well to dispel the falsehoods surrounding the Warriors of Light and their actions during prior to the flood. Though I must say the reappearance of Ardbert, or rather one who appropriated his identity, was a rather curious development. Hard for me to read right now for some reason. He is an imposter, of that there is no doubt, but to the masses he will appear as a hero returned from the grave. After the Warriors of Light were laid to rest in Yulemoor, the people prayed fervently for the gods to deliver them from their plight. Prayed that these fallen heroes be born again for the sacrifices. What bitter irony. I, for one, would like to know why Ardbert urged the people to become Warriors of Light themselves. Ere we take action, we must needs ascertain his intent. Let us pray that Master Alphino returneth soon with that most essential knowledge. Watch him come in 2 seconds. For now, I think it best to apprise Thancred and Reen of our efforts. When we do confront Ardbert, we shall no doubt have need of their strength. Agreed. I think it prudent we all take measures to prepare for what's to come. Beck Lug and I will continue our search into how we might improve the spirit vessel, that it might one day carry you home. Then I think it time I return to the Great Wood. Until now, everything we have learned of the Ascians has been handed to us at their leisure. But that was one of Emmett Selk's unique failings. I have no reason to think Elidibus will be as forthcoming. Fortunately, I recently received word from Fano that heretofter unexplored chambers have been discovered deep within the Katana rabble. Almet believes the relics within tell of a great calamity that befell an ancient civilization, that of the Ascians, perhaps. They may lead us to the truths we seek. Would you care for company? I wouldn't dream of going without you. When you are ready, make for Fano. Almet and her sisters will be expecting us. And let us be about our tasks. Pray give me my regards to the V's. Yeah, buddy. Entire map. Beautiful. Welcome, allies of Ronka. We have accomplished much since last you came. With the Light Warden dead and its minions dispersed, we have at last reclaimed our hunting grounds near Raktika Falls. It was there that we discovered more ruins. Although we ran afoul of no traps while exploring its halls, we determined that the innermost chambers were warded by magic. We all were in agreement. Before any investigation could proceed, you should be summoned. We are grateful that you did. From what you have told me, I strongly suspect that the wisdom my comrades and I seek can be found within. This wisdom could prove invaluable, for we may soon face a foe whose greatest asset is our ignorance. I see. Then it is good that you have come. Ronka was once home to the greatest of weapons, knowledge and understanding. And it is our duty to ensure you and yours do not want for either. That said, we must proceed with caution. To have reached the inner chambers unmolested suggests a more formidable deterrent yet lies within. Come now, surely any threat sleeping within the ruins pale in comparison to those we have faced thus far. This is not a game, sister. You should not be so eager to run headlong into danger. Oh, and who was it pining for the return of our allies, that we might venture into the ruins, clutching our staff at night, wishing it were? You promised not to tell. Then I suggest we be going. Get back here. They have like claw high heels. Remind me, exactly how old are you and your sisters? On second thought, perhaps it's for the better, I do not know. Pray forgive her overzealous nature. None save we three have been privileged to escort you and yours into the ruins and bear witness to its secrets. Their hearts now burn with curiosity that is not easily satiated. Please, you needn't apologize. As a seeker of knowledge myself, I understand full well their enthusiasm, and if not for your sedulous efforts to protect the ruins, we would not be afforded this opportunity. Speaking of which, I believe I have kept you away from the ruins long enough. Come, let us make for the katana ravel. Exactly. Too much talking. Solo duty time. It is most strange for these halls to be left unguarded. Have care when you breaking the seal on the chamber door. Danger surely awaits us on the other side. Oh, there's some nice scenes coming up. Proceed.
Come. Our new discoveries are to be found this way.
Voice acting.
The people of Ronka are known to have venerated animals, but these features do not match those of any indigenous species. This is no common beast. though that much is plain from its proportions.
Lifelike, is it not? One could almost imagine it breathed. Why you... Ugh.
This owl, by contrast, seems no different from the others we've seen.
The sealed door lies ahead. As you see, one statue is missing. I expect we are meant to replace it as before.
Too simple. There will be some additional defense mechanism. Just a moment. There are words carved into the stone. He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber shall instead waken the beast and know his folly. Wait! Don't!
It's a trap. Saw that coming.
What? But I only... What is happening?
It's coming alive.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, it lives!
Like you're ready to fight.
Why am I not surprised? Prepare yourselves.
Oh, they were going to fight the beast. Apparently not. Maybe we still are. The new triple triad cards. This isn't battle music. Okay, clear the trial. You trespass, mortal, upon sacred ground. In retribution, 4 souls have I bound. Yet the heroes proven, learned, and wise, a comrade's soul shall be their prize. Oh, I have to answer questions. Great. If you would see theirs set free, answer me these riddles 3. Hopefully they're easy. Deft of paw with kin do I vie. The sought apart betterment of the whole do our efforts to cry. What am I? Deft of paw with kin do I vie. Betterment of the world. Betterment of the whole. Well, I don't even know what that Opopo. Is it the Opopo? Is this like a monkey? Indeed, the Apopo is keen and shrewd, the spirit of ingenuity, by whose guidance the Ronkins did prosperity pursue. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. With fearsome fang I travel with pack. Together we find harmony, and thus for peace our land does not lack. What am I? Well, it's fang and a pack, so it's got to be a wolf. Yeah. Indeed, 'twas the spirit of the wolf their doctrines praise, that they would know peace and harmony to the end of their days. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. On my belly do I crawl, but by my strength does prosperity reign within our hall. What am I? Gotta be the serpent. Indeed, the dread serpent turned protector, lured to slumber, ere it tear the world asunder. The riddle's answer you did discern, and thus to you a soul returns. That they said I only had to answer 3. Desire you that which yet I claim, then we shall play another game. A test of mind and memory. Choose wisely, and you all may yet go free. Twixt these talismans, hide friend and foe. Choose your companions well, or sorrow know. You must choose carefully, but they're all the same, aren't they? The back doesn't have anything. Some meaning to their arrangement. Yeah, again, they all look the exact same to me. Well, I'm just going to pick one. Hopefully it does well. Ba-boom. Ah. Gotcha. It's a memory game. Your comrades are assembled together at last. Yet still there remains one trial you must pass. If you would glean the knowledge enshrined in this earth, I'd first take the measure of your worth. So now we get to fight you. One worthy of she who the Ronkins extolled must be strong of mind, body, and soul. Here we go. Still getting a bunch of lag. Hold nothing back. Failure to this test does not appear to be an option. It's set to set on your Stola. Hurry, we must protect her. What is it summoning? Victory oft brings sacrifices, by which of you would pay the price. Oh, they're gonna help me. Oh, they're blocking the light. They're showing me how to do it. Oh, and it causes a laser to fire. Okay. Impressive. The sound of heat. Touch of shadow. You think you may have won, but we've only just begun. What are we animating? Poison. Come, gather around me. Reinforcements, leave them to me. Or I can tank them. Oh, they're dead, for the most part. We must waste time in the slime. Focus on the Guardian. Draw them all. He's almost done. Well fought, hero. The trial is complete. The way is open, and thus I concede defeat. Not wholly unexpected, but an exhausting ordeal nevertheless. Anybody else have anything to say? Your last of the chamber's defenses. At last we can leave. Glad that's over. Me too. Let's go learn about the Asians.
Twould seem the magics have returned us. How polite. Now, what have we learned?
Ah, we were bound to run into a living statue eventually. And now we can open the door.
Making light of her mistakes.
He who would disturb a hero's deserved slumber.
Who is this hero?
A tomb, just as I thought. Befitting a hero.
She is Vis. Could it be the Archmage's Tiuna? legendary hero of Ronka, as you surmised. The tales tell of how she smote entire armies with a single incantation, so potent was her spellcraft. Though she ever fought in the name of peace.
I thought them no more than tales. To think she really existed.
Well, I, for one, always believed.
Of course you did.
I wonder. By the light of fallen stars, great power awakens.
Tiuna was not only a master of spellcraft. It is said she could see truths long lost and hear the voices of men's hearts.
Naught less than the echo. In which case, none of this is mere coincidence.
She was a warrior of light.
A shower of stars setting the sky aflame. And in both this world and the source, we find individuals within whom a mysterious power awakened at the sight. We can never unpick the why of it. Now, however, I believe we might. Does the scene depicted here not resemble the one we saw when we first ventured into the Katana Ravel? Moreover, does it not recall that which Emmett Selk invited us to witness in Amarot? The final days. If, as the Exarch's research suggests, soul and mind share a fragile yet profound bond, might it not be possible for an event to leave such a deep imprint upon the soul that it could be perceived eons later, given a suitable trigger? The echo defies explanation by conventional etherological theory, or shall we say modern etherological theory. But if it is a power that once belonged to the ancients, to souls yet undivided, it would seem I have entered the realm of pure speculation, and I call myself a scholar. I shall refrain from making any further wild claims until such time as I have evidence.
No, please continue. I want to hear what you have to say.
Still, I cannot choose but be reminded of our experience in Amarot.
Then you must recall Emmett Selk's dying request.
Remember us.
History is learned, not lived. We have always protected the tales of Ronka, just as we have protected this place. But we are mindful of what our mothers taught us. We see the past through our own eyes, and speak of it with our own words. Thus do we come to understand it in our own way. But this is not the same as remembering.
Your mothers were wise. Though we witnessed the final days, our impressions cannot fail to be colored by our own experiences and expectations. Those who lived through it would have perceived the event quite differently. We must bear in mind that it is no simple matter to keep the truth alive, or it will die with Emmett Selk and his kin. But we have disturbed Tiuna long enough. Fanau will serve only well as a venue for our contemplations.
What does this mean? By your pensive expression, I take it the tomb has given you much to think about. That as well. In time, the knowledge you have gleaned will lead to understanding, and thus arm you for what is to come. Before you leave, however, I would speak again of the teachings of our forebears, of histories learned and not lived. The legend of Tayuna and her exploits has been told countless times over the centuries, yet as it is handed from one generation to the next, the story changes. With each telling of the tale, there are new flourishes. Details changed or lost. You never truly know how she lived. We were not there to see it. But we are here now to bear witness to your life. We have seen the change you have wrought, the echoes that will endure long after you are gone. And though it too will change in time, I swear to you, we shall do our best to preserve your story. I hope you forgive me if I don't make an oath of my own, but I think it goes without saying we can never misspeak of your heroism. Perish the thought, so long as we are here, there are none among the V's who will not know of all of you have done for Norvrent. We are not deserving of such reverence, but we are grateful all the same. You can be certain we will have our own tales to tell the great guardians of Rektika and the ruins of Ronka. I pray you safe travels then. As ever, we shall await your return with open arms. Although we learned not of the Asians, the insight we gained of the Echo made our trip worthwhile. Before we return to the Custarium, however, there's a small matter I would attend to in Slitherbow. Might I trouble you to come with me? Thank you. After we arrive, we should have a brief word with Runar. What does Runar have for us? Malgazir, it is so good to see you. You've arrived at the most opportune time. I was preparing a pot of my famous stew. Come, I'll ready a place for you. I'm sorry, Runar, but we haven't the... Please, I insist. It will only take a minute. Counting down the seconds. My apologies, Malgazir. It seems our return to the Custarium will be delayed, but perhaps only for a bit, if you assist me with my work. I say work, but it is rather more a chore. I must clean my chambers here in Slitherbow from top to bottom. If you'd so kind as to go fetch a broom from Asgir, we might finish before Runar is done cooking. A broom for Master Matoya? I cannot imagine why she would have need of such a thing, but here you are. It is old but sturdy and sure to suffice. I trust Asgir was able to find a broom for us. Battered broom. Well worn. Good. This would prove difficult otherwise. Well, I must say, I think I did rather well for not having a broom thus far. Yes, well, you weren't buried beneath a veritable avalanche of books when you entered, were you? Right. Anyway, it is time I finished cleaning with the help of that broom. Well, she's going to animate it. You didn't honestly think I'd do it the old-fashioned way. That broom is more than capable of sweeping by itself. Or rather, it will be. Ahem. Time to rise, to swish and sweep. A tidy chamber you must keep. To this task you shall be bound until no dust is to be found. In this one particular respect, I have no objections to following in Master Matoya's footsteps. In future, I may need you to remind me the pursuit of knowledge does not preclude other equally important duties, such as maintaining clean quarters for said pursuit. Oh, he's eavesdropping. I will dearly miss this place. Miss these people. Master Matoya, pardon the interruption, but the stew is ready. Something troubling you? You've been rather quiet. Oh no, everything is fine, I assure you. It has been a long day, is all. I see. Yashtola, thank goodness you're still here. Alphino, I thought you were following Ardbert. I was, though I'm sad to say I lost track of him shortly after entering these woods. He seemed determined to traverse every elm of Norvrent in his quest to spread the word of the Warriors of Light and the Flood. And it seems news of your address at the Crystarium precedes him at every destination, making his task all the more simple. It remains to be seen to what end he encourages the people to become warriors of light themselves. But there's no denying that his words have struck a chord with many. Well, we're all agreed that this is just another Ascian ploy, yes? They've commandeered Corpus before, and to no good end. I see no reason to think this time is any different, especially when it's that of a fallen warrior of light. I doubt we'll learn more if we remain a step behind. His next destination, in all likelihood, Slitherbow. Alize, are you certain you should be here? If you're concerned about Howrick and the others, you needn't be. Their treatment is going well, but progress is slow and exhausting for all of us. The best thing I can do now is let them rest. So, I believe we are about to discuss how to arrange a meeting with our would-be Warrior of Light. Before visiting any towns or villages, Ardbert would hunt down and slay a nearby Sin Eater to earn the locals' trust. Our best chance of getting ahead of him is to find one before he does. Thankfully, Thancred and Reen are returned from the empty and have taken up the search. Reen believed one may lurk beneath the vows of woven oath. That is where we shall start our search. Master Matoya. A warm bowl of stew will be awaiting your return. I look forward to it. So many sinister things going on. We took down the big guy, Emmett Selk. I wonder if Elidibus is just as powerful.
you were hoping to vent your frustrations on our Issa friend here, I can only apologize.
Few as they are now, it took us no time at all to track it down.
That suits our purpose perfectly. Now we need only wait for Ardbert to arrive.
Assuming that's the only one around.
Aren't you two meant to be attending to the empty?
We were, and are, but we can hardly ignore the rest of the world. So we thought we might see how things were coming along.
Maybe.
From what we can gather, the answer is strangely.
How we doing, Queen? Hopefully, Koala.
It is heartening to have all present.
Indeed. We will be glad of the additional hands should matters escalate.
Our quarry has come.
Oh, it was that easy.
It seems I've lost this particular race. Although I suppose it's only fair. When we first met, it was I who outpaced you. Ravana, was it?
Stare, stare, stare.
Where are my manners? I wouldn't be here were it not for you, and I have yet to say a word.
Ask whether he wishes to sit over here.
Poor fellow. He will be sorely missed.
What do you mean? He's not dead. I thought you were supposed to be good at this.
Very well. Let us forego this pretense. After all, it was never you that I needed to deceive. Yes, it is I, Elizabeth. Through your time in Emet-Selk's imitation of our home, I dare say you have gained a better understanding of my role since last we met. Not that it matters.
Jerks, all of them.
We understand your role, emissary, but not your goal. What is it that you seek to achieve?
I seek to enact the will of the Convocation, of course. If it helps you to think of me as but another Ascian, no different in nature or purpose from the rest, you are welcome to do so.
Once, I would have said your goal was destruction alone. Now I understand that you fight for something you love, just as we do. Yet though we seem doomed to clash, I bid you consider Emet-Selk's final words. Remember that we once lived, he said. Had he not seen some glimmer of hope in our kind, I do not believe he would have spoken thus.
None better understood your plight than he. His words must surely be worthy of your consideration.
Emet-Selk. How very unlike you to err so gravely.
Yeah, what are you up to?
That one should stray at the end of so onerous a path is understandable. But I had thought you above such weakness. Mayhap you thought the same. Would that I had been present to offer correction. But I shall do so now, as is my duty, and return all to its proper course.
Doing fates, you doing crafting.
Look at yourselves. Look at your history. Look back 100 short years to how your greatest warriors were undone. And now, at but a word from me, you raise your hands in answer like the puppets you are. Naught has changed. You fail, and you fail, and you learn nothing. Allow that which is most important to slip through your fumbling fingers like so many grains of sand, again and again and again, and you would remember us. You do forget yourselves. There is no common ground to be found between you and I, nor do I require any. I have my duty.
And so do we.
Wait!
Well, we have confirmed the identity of our foe at least, and 'tis safe to say his objective is the rejoining.
But we still have no idea how playing the part of a warrior of light will further his cause, nor why he would spur others to do the same.
Another visit to the Tempest may shed some light upon these mysteries.
Yeah? Where?
Whether we are to exchange words or blows with Elidibus at our next meeting, the fact remains, we know too little. Ere our paths cross again, I would learn more of the world that once was, and of Elidibus himself. In this, we would be best served going directly to his home, much as Emmett Selk came to ours.
Though I see the wisdom in thy suggestion, the Amarot we visited is but a phantom born of Emmett Selk's memory. I fear it will teach us little that we do not already know.
I quite agree. Yet the ruins of the actual city remain unexplored. Given the vastness of the Tempest, I should not be surprised were there more such structures like to those in which the Ondo reside.
Is that to be learned? I want to know. Oh, do that one.
A man after my own heart.
Now Kith.
Assuming we are all in agreement, I suggest we first pay a visit to the Ondo. If anyone can tell us where more ruins are to be found, it is them.
Yeah, fates are a good time for a while. It depends on which ones you're doing. Most fates I usually did were in the 10 to 15 range just to get secondary classes up to the point where they can do Sestasha. Yeah, Azaslaw, good stuff. Alpha knows the right of it. Let us pay a visit to the Ondo. We should speak with Tulsh off first. As chieftain, he is doubtless privy to a great many secrets. Any particular reason Azaslaw? Is it just your level range, or do they have like special drops or anything like that? Or is it just like a fun place to do it? I haven't really looked into a full analysis of the fates system to be like, oh yeah, this is the one you want to do versus not. I have sent for no finless ones. Perhaps you instead come seeking something of us. Explain, 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 explain. Ruins which your kind have yet to explore. I see. I know of one such place. Alas, under these circumstances, I'm afraid we can spare none to guide you there. And what circumstances are these? Rather than hunt for their own meals, the Benthos have pillaged our stores of Miniri liver. They must be replenished with haste. The Benthos, a particularly violent tribe of Ondo, if I recall. A band of bottom feeders. We all lost much in the flood, but while others work to rebuild, they resort to thievery and murder. Revenge, they call it, when they prey upon your kind, but do not be fooled. They care not who they harm, or that they had warriors to challenge them. This isn't the first time they have stolen from us, but there is no resource more precious than liver. All must dedicate themselves to the hunt. Unless, of course, we were to reclaim the livers for you. It seems a fitting payment for vital information, does it not? Moreover, one could argue that employing Bismarck to reach these depths, thereby driving back the waters, we are in part responsible for the deeds of those driven to desperate ends by the changing climes. One good turn and all that. One good turn deserves another. I thought you might say that. You've never been one to miss an opportunity to help. Reclaiming the stores it is, then. We'd be grateful beyond words if you did. The Ventos have surely taken the livers back to the Flounders Four, but they'll be warned there'll be no shortage of guards waiting to spear intruders. Then we will have care not to draw their attention, shall we? So you're talking about the relic weapon there, Queen? I haven't really looked into what that entails in Shadowbringers. I have one on one of my other characters. I have one relic weapon from our own Realm Reborn, but that's about it. I didn't do any for Heaven's Word or Stormblood. Is it more the same, just a bunch of random things in a row, or is it like more specific? Like if I recall, Stormblood, you had to worry about doing a lot of Eureka. Interesting, with Emmett Selk dead, the city still stands, even though it's just an illusion. Pressing your hand at each second turn, you find that autofill with the wheat down to the bottom. You also find that raw wheat is unpleasantly pointy. Well, it's not that one. Clammy cask. Let's try that one. In cursory sniff, you detect the faint aroma of 4 fresh oranges, a far cry from the rather memorable scent of Veneer liver. I get oranges down at the bottom of the ocean. They just took them. The draggled box. These boxes are filled with assorted vegetables. Liver is not a vegetable. Okay. What about in here? Nothing. Okay. Well, it's got to be in here. I looked at all 3 of them. Be something around a corner somewhere, probably. Hey, look, it's a shoe bill. And just staring at Reen, just staring. The way shoe bills are. Alright, well. Do I have to fight for them? I'm not seeing any other things to click on. Oh. Right back here in the corner. Either way, it's a pain in the butt, isn't it, Queen? Just any relic weapon. From the squelching noise that make when prodded in the vile stench, you conclude that these bags are bursting with livers. Brilliant. Creepy music. Are those them? Perhaps you've deduced this already, but it seems the Benthos have been raiding Calusian storehouses, as well as those of the Ondo. That's where they got the oranges and the wheat. Oranges, pumpkins, wheat. But we can discuss this after we see delivers safely back to Tolshath. It wouldn't do to keep him in suspense. Your person's name is Nostalgia Goggles. I'm relieved to see you unspeared. Here are your livers. Our precious livers. I knew you would not fail. We also found all manner of foodstuffs from Calusia in the founder's floor. Tell me, Tolshath, does that seem odd to you? It is brazen, to be sure. I'm reminded of rumors I've heard recently concerning a rash of thefts from Calusian warehouses. The perpetrators enter in the dead of night and are gone before anyone has realized what has happened. The Yulmorn army has begun investigating, but thus far to no avail. Perhaps the reason they've struggled so is that their quarry is of the sea. The true question then is what we mean to do about it. Much as I would like to proceed to the ruins without further delay, we cannot allow the Benthos to carry on as they are. We can't kill them. We can fix their problem, right? If I may, I believe that the ruins are, in fact, key to the Benthos' plans. Is that so? These ruins, which lie deep within the illuminated land, are a recent discovery. We have seen signs that the Benthos are preparing to claim them with all haste. We cannot fathom why, but in the light of the knowledge that they have been stockpiling resources, it is clear that their queen will soon give birth. They require space to raise their young, and food for both queen and hatchlings to thrive. Well, we can hardly fault them for that. Under normal circumstances, perhaps, but conditions in the Tempest are far from suitable for spawning. Its resources barely able to sustain our current population. There's only one reason they would disregard this. They seek to build an army, and with it take revenge upon the Finless. It is not a surprise. They came to us long ago seeking allies for the cause. We rebuffed them, of course. The suffering of others will not serve as balm to their own. Their queen, however, desires only bloodshed, and will gladly send her children to die in our stead. If they are planning to wage war, that changes matters considerably. Indeed. I doubt that this can be resolved without violence, but perhaps with a show of force we can convince them to see reason before the die is cast. I'd rather not risk your people in the attempt. If we travel to the illuminated land, there's the way we might identify the ruins ourselves. Yes, once you reach its depths, you go deeper still. You'll see a monstrous structure there upon the seafloor. You have come to know us now as the will of the Ancient Ones. They have guided you here that you may drive out the usurpers, those who seek to use their magnificent creations with vile purpose. I have no doubt that they will show you the way forward. I'm afraid that the dead do not speak quite so clearly. Nevertheless, we shall try not to disappoint. If what we seek lieth deeper still, beyond Amarot, I would call upon the assistance of another. We're going to talk to Bismarck again. Nice. Though our course of it hath been decided, to pursue it must needs beseech the aid of a friend. I speak of Bismarck. Pray follow me to the Sullen, that we might seek an audience with him once more. Then Alphino bows. We're about the same distance. Now with the relic weapons in Shadowbringers, is it much like all the other ones where like the first couple steps are actually pretty easy? That way you have something you can use? Oriange. Yeah, good. I'm trying to plow through to Endwalker here. So I may not take the time to do it, but maybe when I'm finished, get around to it. From here, we pass onward to the Isle of Ken. I myself shall proceed on foot. You perfected your technique then, instead of learning how to swim? Just so, the water will be as glass beneath my feet and provide a purchase, fragile yet true. Watch closely. Oh, I certainly shall. Forgive me, but would it not be easier to perfect your swimming technique? Exactly, that's what I said. Aye, 'twould be a pity if you drowned, truly. Oh hush, I'm sure it'll be brilliant. He's a ninja now. He's done it. Watch him fall out immediately. Incredible. Yep. Riange. For the love of... I'm glad they still have enough time for these comedic moments. Lighten it up. My mind apologies. The technique required the purest of focus, and mine was lacking. To perfect this magic, I went so far as to deal with the Fwath, and with their aid, mine efforts were finally met with success, albeit on a single occasion. You need to keep practicing, is what you're saying. I know not why I cannot repeat it. I thought I saw you waver a bit toward the end there. Perhaps you're simply tired? Thancred. Uh-oh, everyone's getting it. Nothing to worry about, only a dizzy spell, though it may not be wise to go for another swim just now. Thankfully, we have an alternative. A wonderful little invention, I'm certain you'll agree. A boat. Oh, I love you, Stola. So sassy. Her sarcasm is awesome. Yeah, hey, teleported. I will petition Bismarck's aid on our behalf. Let us pray my diplomacy proveth more effective than mine experimental magics. You speak with the voice of the king, little neighbors. I will not deny you. As before, if you seek what sleeps beneath the sea, I'll be your guide. Thy kindness is as boundless as the depths, serene one. Before we depart, however, I would ask a favor. After our last flight, I found many creatures clinging to me. I am itchy. Remove them, and I'll take you below. With all haste shall it be done. So, did he agree? Aye, though I agreed to a favor in kind. Regrettably, 'tis not one I possess the power to grant. Bismarck hath asked us to cleanse his underbelly of barnacles. Alas, one must needs dive beneath the surface to do so. Even if I can master the power to walk upon it, it would avail me not. Oh, for heaven's sake, is that all? Malchazar and I are more than capable of that. Aw. With the Kojin's blessing, we'll have done with it in moments, and better that than standing here listening to this nonsense. I'll take the right, you take the left. Now go. Dang, she's yelling too. Yes, mistress. I am in your debt. Okay, Ariandre. Like, alright. Spin around in a circle. After a good deal of prying from various angles, you dislodge the barnacle. Oh, same thing. Do 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 do. Yep. Thine efforts are most sincerely appreciated. I will inform Bismarck that we may depart without further delay. Much, much better. Thank you, little neighbors. I remember a long time ago, another did this favor for me. After the flood, when I chose the spot for my slumber, he came and made a home on my back. Ken was his name. When I grew itchy, I stirred, but he was not afraid. No, he asked me what was wrong. I told him of the creatures clinging to my belly, and he dove into the water. He helped me. He was my friend. He told me he wished to live in peace, away from his people and their wars. This I understood. But I treasured our time together, brief though it was. brief though it always is, but I remember him and how he laughed when I flew. I remember when he slept. Oh, I missed it. Thanks, text. But the light fades and darkness returns. Ken sleeps, but remember he laughs, and together we fly. I am here. I am awake. It feels good to speak and be heard again. I shame others cannot understand me. If thou art willing to learn, I would gladly teach thee the language of men. Thank you, little friend, but it is time I grant you your request. First, I will take flight to cleanse my body and prepare. The dive will be swift, and I will not have you struck by errant debris. So hold on. This island was named for a man. How easily the past is forgotten. He passed not even 100 years ago, yet the truth has slipped from history like so many grains of sand. Might have some explanation of what he just said, or shall we stand by about making vague and mysterious allusions? While he maketh ready to deliver us unto our destination, Bismarck bade us wait for him on the shore of Calusia. That's all. I feel as though there was more to it. Indeed, there was, but I have no bearing on the task at hand. I should be glad to share the rest with you anon. Fine. Later then. If Bismarck requires time to prepare, might I suggest a short respite? For Urianger and Thancred in particular. I require no such thing. I am the picture of perfect health. Mine was but a momentary lapse in concentration. Worry not on my account. You must have pushed yourself so. Please rest for me. All right, if you insist. You too, Malgazer. You've been running yourself ragged. Yes, ma'am. In that case, leave the old man in your care. The rest of us will meet you at the Split Hull anon. Word of advice, never let it show. When she realizes she struck a nerve, she remembers. By the gods, she remembers. In any case, if we must be made to rest, I know a place in Sullen that's better for it than most. Come with me. Might as well have a seat so we wouldn't want our elderly knees to give out. Good sarcasm is top notch too. But not as good as Yishtol is. To hear her speak, you'd think I'm on my deathbed. By the 12, I wish that girl wouldn't worry so much. Thy countenance belies thy words, Master Thancred. I'm sure I don't know what you mean. Let the record show that I am here under protest. Though I can't say I mind the view. Yeah, and if the abundance of anglers is any indication, even an amateur might land an impressive catch. Shall we try our hands at it? Help someone. Quickly. It's Nightshade. We was attacked on the road from the Castarium. Barely escaped with me life. I suppose we might have predicted this. Always something going on. You mean you'll help me? For free? Thank you. If I recall correctly, Nightshade is a local band of outlaws. I doubt they'll trouble us overmuch, no more than they already have by interrupting our relaxation at any rate. These two have matters well in hand by the looks of it. I'll not forget this kindness. May we meet again. Hello. Is that you, sir? Don't tell me we just deprived the poor fellow of the honor of being rescued by the Warrior of Darkness. We had no idea you were in the area. Fancy us meeting again so soon, eh? Why, I believe I even recognized your companion. Ah, yes, from the infirmary. You had a message from the Crystal Exarch, did you not? It's good to see you back on your feet, and on patrol, no less. Oh, it's nothing as official as all that. Strictly speaking, we're off duty, but as we had a free moment, we thought we'd give a few of the less traveled roads a look. The guard doesn't have enough hands to patrol them regularly, you see. Oh, they're trying to be warriors of light. That's admirable. There are so few devoted to their duty in Lakeland or beyond. Well, we've been talking about it for a while, and neither of us is satisfied with just seeing it out our service. It feels like we should be doing more, we could be doing more, like we should be doing more. It's all about having the will to help our fellow man and the resolve to see it through. I remember you, the excitable one. Sorry, sir, I get a bit overexcited the other day. I'm going to get my words out. My name is Von Art, sir. I'm with the guard, but I don't just want to protect Lakeland. I want to protect the lot, just like the Warriors of Light. Sadly, our duties prevent us from venturing too far from our own little corner of Norvrent. What we'd really like to do is travel, to better ourselves, and to go where the need is greatest. But everyone has to start somewhere, don't they? For now, if we can stop Nightshade from robbing the odd fisherman, then that's what we'll do. Well, well, future heroes are the first, do you think? They want not for spirit, 'tis but a pity they draw inspiration from so clouded a wellspring. Yet it availeth us not to fret in idleness, we must needs press on if we are to bring Elidibus's schemes to light. Ooh. Though our respite was cut short, I dare say we are all eager to avail ourselves of such knowledge as the ruins may hold. Aye, and I doubt further contemplation of Elidibus's machinations will be conducive to relaxation. A lot of big words there. We may as well make for the split hull now. I wanted to finish up this patch with this stream, but I don't think I'll be able to. We'll see how much further I can get. I have like 15 or so minutes left. Maybe a little bit less. That said, if I get access to a dungeon, I'll probably end it there because it'll take longer than I have. But the plan is to be back online tonight, so look for me then. Hello, Orianjay. All are present. Now we need but await Bismarck's coming. Get some voice acting? Nope. 'Tis time. Pray make ready. Am I getting a headache too, or is it only the ones that their bodies are back on source? Oh, look at that. Immediate dungeon. And as I said, if I ran into a dungeon, I'll probably end it there. So, thank you so much for the follow, Queen. I really do appreciate it. I usually stream 8:30 to midnight Arizona time, so I'm planning on being on tonight. So, hopefully we'll see you then. Anybody out there who is not currently following, it'd be fantastic if you did so now. It is free for you to do, and it really does help me out. These videos, as well as all the previous ones, are being uploaded to YouTube. The name there is Malkazair. So if you want to watch the entire journey from level 1 up to now and beyond, you can go ahead and check it out. Until next time. And we are back to continue this patch, probably finish it up today. Got access to Anamnesis Editor. I never read these things ahead of time, so I'm not going to do it now, but that just seems like a mouthful. So we're going to go ahead and do a trust per usual. Let's see.
Here we
go. Yep, that'll work just fine for me. Commence. We're trying to find more information on Elidibus in order to find out what he wants. So let's hope we find it in here. Oh, that's right. Bismarck is taking us down. Past the Tempest. Look at his little bubble there. Makes no sense that not everyone can go, but that's just me. To the depths. Let's see if we're not to have a peaceful journey. These are poor neighbors indeed. Oh, dodged that or that. It looked like it was going to follow me, but apparently it still has some kind of range on it that we need to worry about. Cool. Hello. I feel like the exact opposite of the Bismarck trial from Heavensward. Oh, gee. Instead of being on an island trying to take down Bismarck, you're actually on Bismarck itself. Because apparently Bismarck is different in this world. Confiteor. Oh, did I miss? Must have. Alright, let's see. Do we land? Ooh. The time has come to depart with these interlopers. Such the ease of the motion despite his size. It's truly a wonder. Ooh. So far, this is a really cool dungeon. The walls fall. We must hurry. Why are they falling? Kaboom! Oof, we were fortunate. What is all this? That's interesting. Trench Vagonite. Oh, dang. Throwing some sewer water at us. That's awesome. Thank you for that. I needed some sewer water in my life. What are these? They're like giant anemones. Be dead soon. Heck yeah. Alright, what's next? Oh, hello. Tiresome creatures. Trench Yavra. Cool name. I still don't know what a Yavra is. Feels like I'm the only one attacking, but there we go. Torrential Torment. There it lies. I give you my breath. I don't need it. Huh. Oh, a nice little landing pad for us. How convenient. Your wish is granted. Go, little wanderers. Incredible. Incredible. Look at this. Look at this thing. This ruin is huge. Oh, first boss. What is that? Like a... It's called an unknown. Like a pustulant T-Rex thing. Oh, look at those. I don't know. That's eyes. Ooh. We are fated to happen upon strange abominations, apparently. Anybody else have anything else to say? Nope. Alright, let's get in there. Bum, 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 bum. Fetid Fang. Alright, that is a tank buster. Oh jeez. Oh, I could be over there doing damage with these guys. Oh well. Interesting. Like picks a random direction to do stuff. Luminous Ray, get out of the way. There was no ground indicator there, but you didn't really need one because it was pointing a certain way. Inscrutability is probably going to be group AoE. Yep, and it gives bleeding to everybody. Well, this guy's already halfway dead. Oh, let's see where the arrows land. Oh, that's why there's two of them. And I was just standing right in the way of that. I'm not paying attention to both of them. Silly me. At least the... Excuse me, at least the bleed doesn't last for very long. Only like 10 seconds or so. Well, let's kill this dude. One at a time. That's fine. I know I'm playing weirdness. What is that one? Ah. Oh, its damage went up. That's cool. I'll still be in the thing. I don't need to be way over there, though. Fetid Fang. And all my things are down. That's cool. I'll just take the full damage from that. Awesome. Quite similar creatures dwell beneath the seas of the source. Mayhap. Look at this architecture. Thanks, Alphino. This is precisely what we were looking for. Jazz music's kind of weird. There are some places that have that, though. This isn't the only place. Treasure coffer for after the fight. Up. Dang. Someone's hitting me hard. Wonder if it's the leech. I'm killing him, the leech, just as fast as they are combined killing the other dude, because the leech has less health. That's cool. You dummies. You know, usually I'd let you die if it were the regular group, because you went ahead. Get over here. Well, I guess you could use provoke very much. Dang, they saw me from all the way over there. They're good. I'll save my Circle of Scorn for when my Fight or Flight comes back up. And kaboom. Aw, was too far away to get both of them. I'm not even gonna throw a Goring Blade on. It'll probably be dead before it does anything good, so I'm just gonna do this to get my mana back. There we go. Mana restored. Any other chests? One right there. Let's see, these guys attack me from way the heck over there. Keep getting all these of slaying things. All right, here we go. And do a lot of prominences to get my mana back. I'll throw a Spirited in as well. Sure, I'll throw down a Circle of Scorn. That's fine. By the time we get to the next fight, it'll be ready again anyway. Okay, is this the next boss? Yes, it is. Who's going to say something? We will find out shortly. Visions of Eld, attend to us now. A Cyclops. What are they doing with that crystal? Nobody else has anything to say? Alright, let's do this then. A final verse. Let's assume that's a tank buster for now. Nope, that hits everybody for quite a bit. Oh. A terrible hammer. Alright, so there's some hammers on the ground. And some swords. What does that mean? Oh, okay, so the hammers hit first, and then... Gotcha. That was a waste. Oh well. A little excited. I've done some confute here, so I've done some Holy Spirits before I did the confute here. It doesn't need to be that far away unless it drops a pancake. Which it doesn't. Oh yeah, the Cyclops. Ooh. Ooh, the swords first, eh? He should be dead pretty soon, and he's done. This is a reconstructed concept then? Why this could take a lifetime to study. There may still be more of the out of sight. Oh, this is an archive. Yes, attack me from 30 miles away. I didn't see any chests, but I didn't really look. Yep, no chests. There's one down there. Bah, 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 bah. You can stun him. Or what? No, maybe not. Oh, hello, everybody. We got one of them down, which is very nice. What are you doing? Heck me. That's my job, man. All right. Another treasure coffer. Take down these Sahagin. I forgot what they're called on first. That's what I'll call them. I was hoping at that particular moment that I had automatic, that auto target on when I was clicking buttons, but I do not, which is probably a good thing anyway. I don't really need that. Here we go. Really, you guys are gonna go for that one? Yeah, I'm fighting some Eousias. Everybody knows what those are, right? If you don't, what are you doing with your life? Did I not get out of the way enough? Nope. Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay, any other chests? Nope. Got the full map. Ooh. Fighting a giant turtle thing. Where's Splinter? Oh, is this the queen? Yep. Merciless matriarch. Rucksteam. Nobody has anything to say? I have a lot to say during the fight that I have to read while fighting. Alright. There we go. Though I mislike this, we may as well have done with it. Or look at it. Let's check everything out. That's pretty cool. Those are giant, looks like gigantic white orsite, but they're not all white. Your kind has never given us of its treasures willingly. Your lives will be no different. Bonebreaker. Okay, assuming again, Tank Buster. Yeah. Seabed Ceremony. Okay, what does that do? You know nothing of the depths. Nothing. Oh, hello. You notice unnatural ripples emanating from the grate. Oh, this is like the one from Sestasha. Gotta stand on it. Okay. Okay, easy enough. Bonebreaker, yep. Notice unnatural ripples emanating from the grate. Oh. Over here. Okay, he's making her invincible just for existing. That sounds too easy. Depth grip. The depth grip someone's hands. I didn't get it in time. Dang it. That's fine. I still survived. What are you doing all the way over there? Oh, dang. He was wrecking the boss, even from a distance. Heck yeah. Let's see. So in the treasure chest. Oh, what did they say at the end? Nothing. Nothing exciting. Hose of healing. Alright, let's see what the information we can find here.
This structure must have served an important function. And here are yet more crystals.
I too noted the crystal repository on the way. The Benthos seem to employ them in their spellcasting.
In such vessels did the ancients preserve concepts, ideal forms to be drawn upon in the act of creation. That so great an abundance should reside here lendeth credence to Ishtola's conclusion. This facility held great significance.
Why did Emet-Selch come down here to get help then? Are you going to speak in something that we can understand, or do I need to read it? Thank you all for joining us at Anator in these most perilous of times. By the summoning of Zodiark, we've been granted a reprieve, yet immutable as the laws he has woven may seem, they will not serve to forestall our doom. Yeah, I know. Gotta read it. Nay, should we continue down this path, our fate will be the same. How's it going, Zeta? I said as much to the convocation, of course, but the stubborn fools turned a deaf ear to my warnings. I had hoped that the defector, at least, would side with us, but I regret to report our overtures have gone unanswered. Who's the defector? Whither tend your thoughts, Venat? Where you lead, we will follow. I shall not speak ill of a convocation. They too seek only to secure the future of our star. Yeah, me too. Awake, kind of. Yet it is plain they will not countenance a permanent solution. That being the case, we must ask ourselves a simple question. Are we prepared to pursue our chosen course? Oh, that went too fast. Even should have blah blah blah. If so, I see no further reason to demur. See, that's the problem with these ones that I have to read even though they're voice acted, they go too fast. Let us bring forth the light that shall ever after keep the darkness in check. Okay, so these are the ones that brought forth Hydaelyn.
So, It was they who first summoned Heidelin.
Their discussion did seem to imply as much, yes. I cannot say I have ever heard of this Venar before.
Venar.
For a certainty, Emmet never uttered the name, speak though he did of the schism which Zodiark's advent wrought upon mankind. Some were of the viewpoint that his power must needs be restrained, and to that end they call forth she who would serve as his shackles.
I do have auto and advanced enabled, but it's usually just fine.
We now know that it was this Venar to whom they looked for leadership.
And that this place, in all likelihood, served as their headquarters. The presence of such intimate records attests to that. I would hear what else they have to tell us. All of it. Did anyone see the source of the image?
It was a hologram, so no.
The device there? Then let us see what other secrets it holds.
But please, why must it be you? Here, I'll turn off auto advance. Just to be sure. If I may speak plainly, I would sooner it were another, any other. You are our leader. None can take your place. You know as well as I that but a few support our cause. Far fewer than they who would place their faith in Zodiark. If Heidelin is to stand a chance at opposing him, I am the only one who might suffice as her heart. Rest assured, however, I shall not vanish from this world. The form I take shall ever remain my choice. And I will press you no more. Only know this, you will be sorely missed. I wonder, is this how the convocation felt about Elidibus? Wait, what? Is he the heart of Zodiark? Sorry, Reen, let me get my finger out of your face. There we go.
What?
That's right.
Forgive me, but did that not strongly imply that Elidibus sacrificed himself to become Zodiark's heart?
7 hells. Then who or what are we dealing with?
He was the strongest of them all. The device appears to activate via a form of ethereal attunement, not unlike an aetheryte. Beyond that, I can say little for certain, save that we should take this opportunity to see what other records it contains. Why didn't it just go right into it, as opposed to having me click on something? It's stopping voice acting, probably. Yep, I was right. No response. Confound it. If I may, milady, the panel did formerly emit a soft yet perceptible glow. That it also no longer may betoken the depletion of some essential energy within. Given how long it has lain dormant, I think it fortunate it functioned at all. That may be, but if we can't get it to work again, then we'll be leaving with more questions than we have answered. The white-robed emissary hath ever named himself Elidibus. Yet if the shade spoke true, Elidibus ceased to be ere even the sundering came to pass. So who is he? This calleth to mind a truth that Emet did once reveal in passing, that the names by which we know our foes are not those given to Ascians at birth, rather they are titles of office, afforded to individuals of merit at such time as the role becometh vacant. Perchance the Elidibus at Zodiac's heart and the emissary with whom we are acquainted be not one and the same, but predecessor and successor. It's possible, if the previous Elidibus perished before the final days, the one we know could still be a survivor of the Sundering. And yet, something in that explanation rings false. I will remain for a time. I would not abandon my attempts to revive the device so soon. There is more to learn here. I can feel it. In matters of etherology, I know none as capable as thee. If there existeth a means to learn more, thou wilt surely find it. Whilst thou art thus engaged, we shall attend to matters on the surface. You may now enter blah blah blah. Oh, it's more of a you all do it as a trust, which we just did. Curious, what other trusts are available? All of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dungeons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, all of them. Alrighty, Rianjay. Can we but uncover Elidibus' true origins, we may yet come to understand his designs. To that end, Y'shtola must needs be afforded as much time as she doth require to complete her investigation. To the extent that such things are within our control, yes. Speaking of which, perhaps we might trouble the Exarch for news of his progress with the spirit vessel. He will no doubt wish to hear of our own discoveries as well, such as they are. Are you going to teleport me? Usually when it goes black, it's going to teleport me. Otherwise, they just walk away. I figured, but why would it say at the end that you can unlock it as a trust when you've already unlocked it as a trust? That just doesn't make sense, to me at least. Unless it just unlocks it under specifically the trust menu. That's probably what it means. What's going on here? A lot of loading going on. Oh, we literally had to walk back. That's what it was waiting for. Is the Warrior of Light back?
Dare I ask what's going on?
I forgot I turned all that off. Here, let's turn it back on because it's not in a, ancient language.
In timing. For me, in any case, we have a problem. The vast majority of those gathered here are presently in the employ of the Guard or else one of the facets, and no longer wish to be so. In principle, all are free to take vocation at any time, but a city does require a certain number of people in these positions if it is to continue to function.
I gotcha.
I have asked them to postpone their resignation until such time as replacements can be found. As you may have surmised, we have the Warrior of Light to thank for this.
That jerk.
It's you! The Warrior of Darkness! You understand, don't you? Someone's going to have to look after this place once you're gone. We just want to be ready to do our bit when the time comes.
Maybe being a guard is doing your bit.
And not only here, but everywhere. Which is why we've got to get out there and lend a hand to those in need. That's what you did, isn't it? Even if it was just little things at the start. You helped people.
Well, yes. But
And we're trying to do the same. We may have our sky back, but there's no shortage of people who still need help. If we follow in your footsteps, then I choose to believe we too can be heroes one day. Even warriors of light.
don't push your luck. The warriors of light usually have Hydaelyn's blessing. Do you?
What are we to say to that? We can hardly tell them they are mistaken. They seek but to do good, as you have.
But no more can we stand idly by and suffer a paragon's scheme to proceed unchallenged.
Uh-oh.
What's happening to the sky?
We just got it back. Is that what happened at Amarot?
Wicked White. Oh, oh no.
Pytho 12.
Is that bear still up?
A star shower.
I hear a voice.
You and all. And why does it feel like it's inside my head? Hear, feel, think. I hear it.
Me too.
Did I not tell you, my friends? You are warriors of light.
Mm-hmm.
You're back.
Was it all just in their head?
What you hear is the voice of light itself, and it has blessed you with its power. Welcome to the fold.
I wish they had different faces for yelling.
I'm a warrior of light.
I've been chosen?
Can it be?
Me, the hero.
He's sending all these people to the slaughter.
Wait! The falling stars, were they your doing? And why do you need warriors of light?
What, am I to reveal my plans simply because you asked? Nay, I think not. Though the stars, I acknowledge mine. A convenient illusion, apt to awaken what little is left of the power that once resided in your sundered souls. That which you and yours call the echo. And an echo it is, of a symphony, but a fraction of what men in their completeness once possessed. Even those among you who tower over others in the gift have only the faintest trace of it. But though sundered and forgotten through death and mocking rebirth, it has persisted. A whisper of our past, burned into your very ether, along with the sight of our end. Through the rekindling of memory, I have awoken the ability, just as Heidelin is wont to do when she has need of new minions.
The Echo hath ever been thought a gift from Heidelin, a boon granted solely to her chosen. Yet thou wouldst claim she merely awakeneth the power that men should hearken unto? Her voice. Given the perceived simultaneity of her call and the awakening of her chosen's capacity to hear it, it is only natural that we thus attributed the source of the gift. Yet if, in truth, the echo is a prerequisite for hearing her voice, one might surmise that her call never ceaseth, such that all who awaken to their innate gift might receive of the blessing of light at the self-same instant. In sooth, we bore witness to this but moments ago. At the sight of the star shower, full many in the crowd did speak of hearing a voice in their minds, did they not?
What if it's part of the illusion?
Just so. And whenever Heidelin has need of new servants, she is quick to pluck comets from the heavens or create illusions of the same.
Why then didst thou conjure this vision, full knowing that thine age-old foe would thus claim those awakened to the gift?
Foe? You must be mistaken. As you see, I am a warrior of light. And together with my comrades in arms, I shall save the world. Just like you.
It's never that simple. Not with these guys. Load up, Alpha No. There we go. The more Elidibus reveals, the less I understand, but that he has made a fine mess of things is plain. Again, I do another reading cinematic. That's fine. He is gone then? I've managed to persuade a number of our would-be deserters to reconsider, or at least delay their departure, but as many are deaf to my entreaties. Young Thaler and Vaughn are among them, I am sorry to say. They have quit the guard. Nevertheless, I wish them well. Whatever Elidibus' plans for them might be, the pair have only ever had the best of intentions. One can hardly blame them for thinking themselves heroes elect, not after being blessed with the echo. and it's not as if they haven't shown the requisite spirit. I quite agree. Though the impetus for their sudden departure may have been words falsely spoken, the men and women in whose footsteps they would follow are heroes in truth, warriors of light. Ardbert, yourself most of all. And so I'd ask a favor of you. Speak with them ere they embark on their journey, and furnish them with what wisdom you can. They set up for their tomorrow launch, but you should still be able to catch them if you leave now. Worth the effort, I'd say. If I recall correctly, Raban took the time to usher you out into the wilder world many moons ago. But he's not a warrior of light. I think the comparison rather flatters Thaler and Vonard, but the point still stands. They'll doubtless be greatly encouraged with Warrior of Darkness himself to see them off. If thou art willing, I prithee go. Thou mayest safely leave the task of unfolding that which did transpire at Anamnesis to us. If you insist. You again. I mean, it's you, sir. Sorry, it's been a funny old day. Look, they've changed. You can be sure we'll take those words to heart. What did I say? Curious now. I still can't believe it. You came all this way just to speak to us. I swear we won't let you down. So long as it helps someone, we'll do what needs doing out there, no matter how small. When larger threats loom, we'll be ready to face them. You see if we aren't. Strike fast and true, for victory belongs to both. Excuse me. Oh, well, what are we waiting for? Get out there. I like that first one. I like being the sage advice guy. We'll be off then. Farewell, Warrior of Darkness, and thank you. Okay. I was just seeing if I have enough poetics to get the next piece, but I don't think I do. I don't know their costs off the top of my head, but I don't think 210 is enough. I'll check though. Maybe I'm wrong. Thank you for making the effort. I'm certain your words will be a boon to them. While you were away, the others told me of your investigation. We've yet to discuss how to proceed, however. While your findings in Amnesis Editor do raise important questions as to the identity of our adversary, we are no closer to discerning his design, nor do I know of any other potential avenue of investigation. Well, you still may find something. She's not here yet. For which reason, we must needs to trust to Yshtola's ingenuity and wait for her efforts to revive the ancient's device to bear fruit. What if I were to attempt to follow the emissary? Elusive as he is, his plan compels him to court public attention. He shouldn't be impossible to find. Especially for one of your experience, it does seem worth the attempt. Then I'll come with you. Safety in numbers. Not this time. In combat, perhaps, but where stealth is required, the opposite is true. Happily, I don't plan on getting myself caught, so you've no need to worry. Nor do I intend to vanish from Moons Undead. We still have the empty to attend to, don't we? Alright, then I look forward to your return. And it sounds like the rest of us should avoid doing anything which might prompt Elidibus to look too closely at our movements. Insofar as it's possible, I recommend we limit our activities to the Crystarium. Speaking of which, Exarch, want to ask if you made any progress with the spirit vessel? Of course, we are presently studying the principles underpinning memory transference and, I believe, nearing the requisite level of understanding. Less hearteningly, practical trials of transference methods suited for use with the vessel have yet to yield satisfactory results, to put it mildly. But there are still many promising possibilities we have yet to test. Indeed, though it may take some time yet, we are well on our way to a solution. And I shall not rest until one is found. Though we are grateful for thine unstinting efforts, thou needst not labor to the exclusion of all else. If it would serve to lighten thy burden, however a little, I should gladly offer mine assistance. Quite. I, for my part, will do what I can to ensure the Crystarium continues to run smoothly, in spite of recent disruptions. Then perhaps I could help. There must be something I can do, even if it's just guard duty. Excuse me. Thank you, all of you. I shall breathe easier for your assistance. Of course, on the evidence of the recent past, it will not be long before some new crisis arrives to throw our plans into disarray, at which time your services will be in particular demand. That being the case, perhaps you might take this opportunity to retire to your suite at the Pendants? I was wondering what you're going to have me do. You're going to have me go sleep? Okay. Pendants. You lose the effective sprint even though it's been ticking when you can't even use it. I wish they wouldn't do that. Throw a quick repair in. A pleasure as always, Master Earthbiter. I'm relieved to see you are unharmed in the early commotion, though if I may, you do look somewhat weary. I presume you will be retiring to your suite? I don't know if there's anything else you require. Dang. While we wait, we hydrate. Master Earthbiter, it's Glinda from the Wandering Stairs. I apologize for calling so late. A friend of yours was asking after you. You may remember them from that business with the cardinal virtues. Well met, sinner. What if you did all the cardinal virtues before this point? I wonder which one would show up. Maybe the one that's keyed to your current role, like this is the tank one. Oh, you have the option to choose. Interesting. Huh. Like we have 4 people who want to talk to you. Which one do you want to talk to? I was looking forward to a welcome respite here in the Crystarium, but the mood here is not exactly conducive to relaxation, as I'm sure you've noticed. I'd wager you know more about what's going on than anyone else in the city. Care to share? I can't say that I envy you your prey. Dark work, this twisting of the Warrior of Light's legacy, reminds me of what became of old Takaya sign, though this Ascian of yours is a fair bit more chatty. I'm tempted to silence him myself. Brandon made his mistakes. I'm sure they all did, but the past is the past. They've earned their rest. I'm not about to let him sully Arbert's good name. What? You want me to leave it to you? Right. I'm not the only one carrying all that weight. Very well, but only because you asked. Remember, if you ever need me, just say the word. I'll be there. Did that conversation have a point? Other than me saying that I'm gonna make it so he doesn't ruin Arbert's name. Serious face. Meanwhile, on the Crystal Tower's umbilicus.
Foiled again.
How to advance.
If I cannot imbue the infernal thing with my power via magical means, we may need to devise a way to infuse the vessel with my blood after all.
Art thou unwell?
Or perhaps a brief respite? It wouldn't do to overtax yourself.
I'm fine. And given to stubbornness, I'm afraid. Especially when I have a stake in the outcome.
Why am I saying Amarat? Oh, Xenos. But with a white cloak? Oh, that's the Emperor's cloak or something? A dream.
The dream again.
Meanwhile, in the source.
A recurring dream. They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details? I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze. Indeed. Could Emmett Selk have found a way? Precious few possess memories of the final days. The final days. Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale. The tale of the world's end.
Creepy smile. Oh man, probably have a new title. Let's check it out. Yeah, buddy. Echo of the Fallen Star. Alright. That ends that patch, but we still have a little bit more time, so let's go and keep it going tonight. In the name of the light. Master Earthbiter, will you be venturing forth today? You'd be sure to take care of, if so. Though they say the star shower is harmless, one can never be too careful. But I can see it is not for me to tell the Warrior of Darkness how to look after himself. Old habits, you understand. Am I going to nod at him? Oh, Malkazer, how very opportune. Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? Wonderful, wonderful. I wanted to thank you, you see, for revealing to us the truth of the Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tale set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is in the case of Ardvert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. At the time, I was not certain what to make of it all, but I could see the effect his words had on those around me. And the stars rained down from the sky and, well, you know the rest. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen, but I was determined to express my gratitude. And so here I am. Thank you, Malkazer, for giving voice to the truth and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of these matters committed to writing, I'd be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there's anything I do to help, anything at all, you need only say the word. What can you tell me about the Warriors of Light? I beg your pardon? You wish to ask me about the Warriors of Light? Forgive me, but I dare say you already know more about them than any living soul, save for Ardbert himself, of course. Unless you refer to the Warriors of Light more broadly. If so, I may yet be able to assist you in some small way. Excellent. I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant texts. Pray join me at your earliest convenience. No rest for the righteous, it would seem. Let me keep you, sir. I bid you a pleasant day. Is Yellow at the cabinet already? Yeah, he walks fast. Malgazar, excellent timing. I at this moment finished gathering the materials for our lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warriors of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus on only upon the details that seem most relevant. Show me a children's book again. Everyone happens to be here. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. We've been keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up my knowledge of familiars, and Alphino volunteered to help. I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light as well. May I join you? What if I say no? Alphino can't nod. She's not asking you. Of course, the more the merrier. If you would care to find a table below, I shall be down with the books in a moment. Ooh, excuse me. Were one to pore over the annals of frantic history, one would note the comparatively frequent occurrence of individuals hailed as Warriors of Light. Ardbert and his comrades required no introduction, but many others bore the epithet long before them. Name but a few, there was Tothwyl, the legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodfer and Solard, the fabled Drawn and Gulgent duo of Herbert. Or that's the name of the races in this world, is one of them. And no list of Varantic heroes would be complete without the Archmage Teona of Ronka. In older texts, she too was called a Warrior of Light. It did surprise me how ready people were to forget the negative associations of the title, but it makes sense if it's been around for centuries. Verily, in ages past, it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the flood, however, light came to be regarded with fear, a title used not to exalt, but to revile. A far cry from its beginnings. This, my friends, is Nordfrint's oldest epic, the original tale of the struggle between good and evil. I have that helm. In a time when all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesied hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself as foot soldier, and thus did he become to be known as the Warrior of Light. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the selfsame epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. And in time, Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Well, well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title of Warrior of Light is also used in the source. Though the manners in which the individuals have earned it are many and varied, heroes have been honored thus since antiquity. Nor does the custom show any sign of dying out, as you can well attest. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Indeed not. Let us imagine a man who was awakened to the echo and is able to hear Heidelin's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself, a warrior of light. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not in itself make one a hero, and conversely, there will have been no few heroes who are not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they became to use the warrior of light and the word hero interchangeably. Sounds about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. Heidelin did call me a warrior of light. She did. I've never heard her voice myself. But I can feel her presence, perhaps through Menphilia. At any rate, assuming all this is true, and there's a common thread behind the epithet, I doubt the Ascians will have been amused. To have the world at large associate light, and by extension Heidelin with good, must have added insult to injury. While this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Mayhap it be better if I excuse myself? Oh, no need for that, my friend. Pray accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warriors of Light has given us much to ponder. Ooh, does someone see Warriors of Light? Wah! Everybody walks over. Riki Tio, are you alright? Ah, my precious tomes. Did I not say you must take care in the cabinet? You too, Arkil. Erwill. We're sorry, Master Morin. Aren't you the Warrior of Darkness? My name is Riki Tio, and I want to help everyone. Please tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a Warrior of Light. You're born with it, kiddo. So I want to be a warrior of light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people, an apothecary. And I'm going to help everyone of Crystarium, Noah, and all of Norvrent. When I told Arkil and Erwill this, they said the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. But this place is so big, we don't have the faintest idea where to begin searching. At this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. A good thing you happen to be sitting next to the librarian. If one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find the treatises on potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young. But, esteemed warrior of darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Rikitio to Spadgerix? Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the Chirurgeons at their work. Sounds like a plan. It seems we finished here, so we'll come with you. Last one to Spadgerix is a rotten egg. I'll have you know I'm really fast. You're going to be the rotten egg. Bum, 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 bum. Multitask. Well now, to what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors? Is that the way of it, sweetie? You wish to learn about medicine? That's right, I want to become a warrior of light who uses potions to help people all over the world. Well, that is a very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No few at our infirmary yearn to venture forth as warriors of light. But ultimately, they have all decided not to pursue that dream. Huh? Why? Because the people are needed here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, the artisans who toil tirelessly that we might sustain our way of life, and younglings like you, who are the future of the Crystarium. They couldn't simply abandon them, you see, and so difficult though it was, they made a decision to remain. Then, does that mean my dream isn't any good? Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream, and it'd be my pleasure to help you pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our Chirurgeons may set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive toward that day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. Though I must warn you, ours is not an easy path. No, you must work very, very hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever. Just you watch. That's the spirit. Without further ado then, may I trust you with the task? I placed an order at Sweet Civ for a potion ingredient, and I would like you to go and collect it. Oh, an ingredient? Leave it to me, miss. Why, such an abundance of energy. Well, I can't help wonder if she'll be alright by herself. My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her? When you arrive at Sweet Civ, speak with a woman named Christine, and she'll point you in the right direction. I shall join you. As the one who suggested this course to Rikitio, I would assist in her first steps. What about the two of you? Are you coming along too? Well, we do want to become warriors of light, just not the same kind as Riki. We'll wait for you here, warrior of darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight. In that case, Reed and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations. What if Reed didn't want to stay? Just kind of, you know, pigeonholing her into doing what you want. I don't think there is a 8th right over there. Falling asleep over here. Let's see if we can finish this quest. If it isn't the Word of Darkness himself, may I assume you're with Master Alphino? Right, lest you wonder, Chesimil's order is for grapes. As busy as we have been late, however, I regret to say we don't have the time to harvest them. So it was with my apologies that I asked Master Alphino and his young companion to help themselves to the fruits and the vines. Perhaps you can go lend them aid? It's the undersized grapes you want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. Everyone's picking grapes. Oh, you're here too? We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Wow, you picked this many already. Amazing. I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to the Chichester meal? Eh? I can't wait to see what she's going to do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why? Well, a while ago I felt sick, really sick. My body was burning up and I felt so weak I couldn't even get out of bed. Then a traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I'd ever tasted, but it made me get better. She was so brave. The apothecary, I mean. She went around taking care of people even when it was dangerous, and I decided I wanted to help people just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving them to my friends. But I didn't really know what I was doing, or if there was anything else I could do. And not long ago, a neighbor told me he was going to become a warrior of light and go traveling the world, helping people. And I thought, that's the same as what I want to do. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Baylor? I haven't seen him for a bit, so he must already be out there looking for people to help. Baylor, one of the guards awakened by the star shower. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Rikitio. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary, and I hope her good example will spur you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in a day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence, through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesimil. It would seem I've been laboring under a misapprehension. I had convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow man abided within them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. And as he so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. With the Exarch laboring tirelessly, I doubt not, but that a way will be found. Yet I believe I speak for all of us when I say I cannot leave in good conscience, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. What if he's on the source? This is no longer a strange and distant land after all. Norvrent has become home to us, and her people our own. Let's return to Spagirix. It wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. And up. For no reason. Well, thanks for your kind help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes, we shall make a vinegar, to which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. Gives you advantage on your constitution rolls. Part of our studies, I may just give Rikki a little taste. Hee hee. Oh wow. Go right to it. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you everybody for watching.